Greetings, folks, YouTube viewers. I realize it's been a while since I've made a video on my channel about G.I. Joes, and I think some of my subscribers might be a little frustrated because it is at least intended, and it started out as a G.I. Joe channel, and that should be the majority of my content. I do appreciate everyone viewing my recent content over the past 18 months, but I think that it's time for me to go back to the basics a little bit, talk about a new acquisition. I went about 10 months without acquiring a new G.I. Joe figure, and now in the last month I've picked up 2 of the same figure. This guy here has been on my list for a while. It's part of the World War II collection, or I was actually, yeah, it's part of a handful of World War II themed figures. This is specifically connected to the Pearl Harbor collection. There's some other figures in that line I'd like to get, but this has always been my favorite, the most sought after for me. This is a Hickam Field Army Defender. Now, what appeals to me about him, he's got basic garb, just a plain white tee, khaki pants. He does have a tactical belt with some ammo pouches, but I can just use him as a civilian, as a basic adventurer, as an Indiana Jones type, as a modern soldier if I gear him up right, or there was, just like his intended use, a Hickam Field Defender from World War II. Let's see, there are 2 versions of him. Well, basically, there's one version of him, but he's available in 2 different ways, how a lot of boxed figures from Hasbro are. You can get him, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this terminology used for this is mint on card, or shoot, there's another term they use for it. Well, anyway, it's a carded figure, but it's got the bubble wrap over top of them. What do they call that again? Blister pack, I believe, is the term. And usually these guys, back in the day, you can get these for a little bit less than the box figure. The box figure would come in this type of apparatus. And they have a little picture of him too. See, that's what the guy looks like all geared up. Just his plain white tee, handling the big gun. It's a 30 caliber at that time, medium-sized machine gun. He's got the Doughboy style hat. Yeah, I'm liking him. I see a lot of different possible uses for this guy. I do want to demonstrate this machine gun. This is was a big draw because I need like a crew-served weapon, something bigger than just a saw or an assault rifle. So I wanted something for a more permanent base of fire. This is what it looks like. This is the same machine gun that appears in the blister pack or in the box. Comes with the same either way. It's a 30 caliber, and it does have a tripod, and that's what I like about it. It's belt fed, and this is the whole idea. This is a more modern figure, but again, there's really, just looking at it, there's no difference from a, I don't know, like a 50 cal or a more modern machine gun. So so what if it's a 30 caliber and it's not really, this exact round isn't used. It's I believe it was a 30-06, essentially. That's what that was. Same thing that they use in their assault rifles. By the way, more permanent setup, like a more permanent base of fire. I kind of want to establish like a Hickam Field, a headquarters element. Basically, you got your soldiers, but you got to have a home base, a place to defend, place to retreat to. This is what you're going to guard it with big boys like this. So anyway, that's what it looks like with a more modern soldier handling the big gun there, 30 caliber tripod. So here's this guy. Why I got this guy is I got the box figure, and I decided I want to make a small army of these fellows. There wasn't just one guy out there at Hickam Field trying to put up a hasty defense against this surprise attack on the day that will live in infamy. So let me show you what my first guy looks like, all geared up. Yeah, man, this is the guy out of his package. I did upgrade what he carries. We mentioned his standard rifle This is a M1 Garand. If I'm not mistaken, it was chambered in 30-06. Same thing that the Browning automatic rifle was chambered in. Same thing when they say 30 caliber. If I'm correct in what I've read, it's a 30-06. So that way they have just like a modern infantry, they want to have consistency with their cartridge as much as possible until they get into their heavier machine guns and what have you. So anyway, Garand at that time is just like on M16, M4, that the equivalent is what every soldier had. Look at all these, look at his load out there. He's got pouches to feed his main weapon there. This is the helmet that he came with. And here's what I've added, though. He actually didn't come with that Garand, but it is appropriate for what he would have carried. Again, he came with the big gun, so they didn't bother with a personal weapon. I like the idea that he had a personal weapon too. He's not always going to be on that tripod with the machine gun. So there's his Garand. There's kind of a messenger pack. We'll say he has a water source. I do want to get a bayonet. Hasbro makes a bayonet that actually attaches on the end of this. Not every figure comes with. But again, by the time it's all said and done, I want about 3 of these guys, and I want them standard, a standard loadout with the M1 bayonet. I got multiple messenger bags like this. They'll all have the Doughboy style helmet, and then I'll have I got plans for a couple of other figures that I'll have to round out like a small World War II era squad for these guys. Anyway, I don't want this video to drag on. YouTube, no one likes extended videos, long videos. Everyone's got a short attention span. I just wanted this to be a quick focused video on Hickam Field Army Defender. If you're a fan of history, you know about Pearl Harbor, of course, the precipitating factor that finally brought the United States into World War II. This is a great collection to pick up, and even if you're not, this figure itself, you're a Joe fan, you're a collector, you just want some type of action hero, Indiana Jones type, basic adventure, what have you. You gear him up right, he'd look at home with these modern, the way I get this modern figure decked out. So it's a versatile figure. He comes with some head sculpts that you don't see just everywhere. Just classic, all-American, a little bit of an older soldier type, not necessarily right out of high school type soldier. These men were, I think the average age of the combat soldier in World War II was around 26 versus 19 in Vietnam, from what I understand. So it's just, get your hands on a good leading male character for like a Hollywood-esque type plot you might have for your collection. Anyway, let me wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Yo, Joe, guys.